Hello everyone, my name is Justin and I'm back from vacation. I'm ready to get some of these videos started, particularly this series, the New York Islanders GMO. We only have about a month and a half, a little less than 2 months of this game. Well, not necessarily this game. NHL 17 is coming out and I may do it on NHL 17 instead of Legacy for the next one. So I do want to have a few more years done of this in the next month and a half. If you hear snoring, that's my dog. I've been getting comments. It's my dog. So today we're in the off season here, and we have some off season stuff to take care of. The first thing is obviously the draft, re-signing like most of our roster. But I want to see if I can get a top 2 defenseman realistically, either at the draft or beginning of next year or whatever, you know. I don't think we're going to make a splash in free agency, so I might just sim to the beginning of the season and show you guys the team, unless there's options at free agency, but I'm not sure I'll have much cap space. Also, I want to talk the options for Johnny BOYCHUK's contract, and I want you guys to comment what we should do, but I'll do that in a minute. So let's just skip this prospects game here. There's the 5 guys that our scout says we should get. Let's look at the retirements. First off, oh my gosh, Chicago lost 4 people. Let's look at New York. We have no one. Not a surprise. Didn't think we would. Patrick Marleau hangs up the skates. Hank Sedin hangs up the skates. Datsuk, he's already retired in real life. Daniel also does. 1,000 point players. That's good. And Spezza, Richards, Ribeiro, and blah blah blah. Did I just see? Oh no, never mind. I thought I said Jordan Stahl, and I'm like, there's no way he's old enough. Goalies. Ryan Miller finally decides to retire because he's garbage. Mike Smith, and these guys. That's everyone. Okay. So you know what? Let's just do our due diligence here and. We don't have a first round, or no. We didn't. Did we get? I don't think we got Panarin this year, did we? We got him last. So I think we have our first round. I'm not sure actually. I should know, but it's been on vacation for a week and haven't played this in a while. So Cole Carter is a 71 overall. Looking for high overall here. Obviously, that doesn't have their potential, but 2-way forward, left wing, Dakota Miskolskzy. 70 overall. Let's look at the white team here. 72 for Miguel Pickard, playmaker center. That wouldn't be bad. Let's check out the goalies. We don't need a goalie, but 46 overall. So let's get into the draft here. No, we don't have our first overall pick. Okay. So let's talk about BOYCHUK here. I don't know if we're trading him now, but 34. He's kept his overall. Still got 4 stars, but 5 years left. I'd take him to 39. Like, no one's gonna trade for that contract. There's 2 things we can do. 3 things we can, maybe even 4. Let's talk about the options here. We can trade him and take half of his cap, so $3 million until he's 39. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of money. That's option 1. So comment option 1 if you want that. Option 2 is we can trade him alongside with some decent pick or prospect to a clear non-contender in the next year or 2 or a few years and get almost next to nothing back. I mean, that's kind of like Chicago did with Brian Bickle this year. They traded him with Teravainen to Carolina and just got, I don't remember what they got, but it wasn't very much is the point, just to dump his contract. He's serviceable for another year or 2. We can keep him for a year or 2, then buy him out. I don't know how much that would cost. Or we can just keep him and eat the cap. But I just don't see trading him for like a top 2 defenseman. No team would do that. We can do our due diligence here and see if there's a top 2 defenseman available, but it's almost unlikely. 88, but 30 sharp. Mike Green, 32 at 88. But would have to negotiate, and he's 3.5 stars, so no thank you. Like, I've seen guys like Ryan McDonough on the Skaters wanting to give away because it's the last year of his contract. But see, there's no one. So another thing we can do is we can see if there's a team that has 3 top 2 defensemen, but none are coming to mind. Boston wouldn't, Buffalo wouldn't, Calgary wouldn't, Carolina, Chicago wouldn't. I mean, there's just no teams that I can think of that would have 3 top 2 defensemen. Philly's got a lot of prospects, but St. Louis, not really. But we do have an option if we want to trade up for one. We could do someone like Leddy, Hamonic, or Pollock, any of these guys, because we have 7 defensemen that are NHL players. Which is why maybe we should just try to get rid of BOYCHUK now for next to nothing, because we're going to have 7 next year. But the problem is then this would be our top 4, and these 2 would be our top 6. That's why I'm suggesting maybe Hamonic. I'm not a huge fan of defenseman. Maybe we trade Hamonic and like a first for a top 2. That would make sense. But just comment what we would do. Should we trade Hamonic and a first for a top 2, or maybe even more than that for a top 2? Or do we even trade BOYCHUK for next to nothing since we have too many defensemen? Just let me know, guys. I'm not going to make a trade right now. I do want to see what we have the least amount of prospects in. So we got Foot and Wotherspoon. So we got a few defensive prospects here. Maybe forward. Yeah. So let's get into this draft. I don't know what to do with the whole BOYCHUK situation. Maybe we can buy him out now. I mean, him and Hamonic, there's no point in having them both defensive defensemen. So let's see. Any of these, I don't recognize any of these names. Left wing playmaker. A center playmaker. We got Barzell for that. Maybe we can go DR Godina. Jolly. Seems like a good pick to me. Yep, we're going for it. No 3rd round pick. Yeah, I remember we got Panarin, and then I traded for a 2nd round pick so we would have one. So, re-sign stage. Depending on how long it takes, I might skip stuff through it or I might skip it completely, but this isn't going to be a long video, so I don't know if I'll even cut anything out. But let's take a look. Goalies. You guys commented not to re-sign Halak. I agree with you. Hopefully find someone in free agency. Let's see how much Gibson wants. I think we should sign him. I want Tremblay to be our backup next year, but just in case there's no starters or something, we need another goalie. We have Cal Gibson. We can always trade him. Even this guy, could turn into a decent goalie. We'll re-sign him to start in the AHL squad. We'll get this guy for the backup position. Did we really draft Outhouse? Oh my goodness. So defensively, obviously I want everyone back. All these 3 guys. Some of them are going to grow higher. That is, how much would it cost to buy out BOYCHUK? $2 million. I don't want to do it for the next 8 years. So we're going to have to keep him for a year or two. Whether he even plays or not. Oh my gosh, I hit the B button. I'm thinking we should just trade him for next to nothing. Maybe like a mid-round pick. Just to get rid of him. Maybe there'll be a defenseman in free agency. That would definitely seal his fate. There's a top 2. So, Pulak, what kind of contract we thinking? Boom. Pulak. I need to re-sign all these guys, because if I do get rid of BOYCHUK and there's no defenseman available, I need to have 6 NHL defensemen. I mean, I'm making sure I'm giving them contracts that I know I could trade if I have to. And Mayfield. Ooh, Mayfield wants a lot. 2 point. Finn could be on number 7 guy. Never mind, he wants one way, and I don't want to do that. Not going to tender him because no one's going to offer him anything anyway. Hickey, he's mad. He's down to 79 overall. Straight. Yeah, we can get back straight on the 2-way deal. Good veteran for the AHL squad. Might as well get back Graham. I don't want to re-sign this guy. Foot, I don't want to re-sign. I thought it was 65 last year. Maybe might not have grew at all. What's Waterspoon at? He's probably going to be on number 6, 7 next year. So here's where the trouble comes. We have a bunch of forwards that need to be signed. Limited amount of money. Ryan Strome, obviously I want him back. He's a lot younger than Stastny. 2 years at 3.8 for our second line. Brock Nelson for the third line. Sure, he's a good player. I want him back. He's young. He wants a lot of money for third line, though. But he could play second line if we need him to. He's worth the money. Clutterbuck, I'm going to leave unsigned for now. Elmo. Could re-sign him just for the heck of it. None of these guys are ready. Joshua Hosang, I'm afraid just isn't going to turn into anything. Doesn't look like it anyway. So left wing, we got Panarin, we got Del Cole. I do want Prince back. This is a good contract for a second line. Boom. Killorn, we're going to leave. Matt Martin for the fourth line. Cliche, don't care about. Whitney, we'll get back Joe Whitney. Just for the heck of it, we can get Cliche, I guess. Try to bolster our AHL squad as best as possible. None of these guys are... Ooh, this guy could turn into something. We're going to sign Yan Dion. Where's the guy I drafted? Jolie. Is he a right winger? Yeah, okay, not bad. Centers. Here's the big fish, Tavares. I know we have enough money to re-sign him. Just how much is he going to want? Realistically, in real life, he'd want at least 8.5. This is the same as Steven Stamkos's contract, so that's what we're going to give him. 8 years. 8.5 million. Tavares is staying in New York. Now everyone was telling me get Stastny back on a 2-year contract. Because Barzal, I think Barzal is going to be second liner next year. Dal Cole was 81, and then we left him in the AHL and he was 86. The same, I think, is going to happen with Barzal. I'm not saying we aren't re-signing Stastny, but let's put our money in better places at the moment. Like Kazikis, I want back. Hodgson, if he wants a 2-way contract, no, he doesn't, so I don't want him back. We'll get back these guys, Odell, Quinn or Quan, I don't even know how to say his name. Sundstrom. We got Bracco. We'll re-sign this guy. Then we got Dorval, not a bad prospect here. 2017 third round. Okay, so those are the guys that I for sure want to sign back. We're going to see what kind of money we have. I want to hit free agency with a decent amount of money. We need a goalie, a starting goalie first off, and potentially a top 2 defenseman. So we're new. So far, everything's looking good. I think I gave everyone a contract they'd be happy with. I like to hit free agency with 10 million, and we're at 11. That's scary. Okay. I'm just afraid that I don't think I'm going to re-sign Stastny. I know a lot of people wanted me to. He did perform in the playoffs, but I think Barzal is going to be ready for the second line. And I'd rather put my money in Alex Killorn for the third line. We'll do that. We're not going to have a lot of money. And Clutterbuck maybe, depending on how much he wants. That's a lot of money, but we'll get him. We need money for a goalie, guys, and I just think we're going to have to let the youngins step up like Barzal. Doug Cole's going to be better next year. We have $8 million. We'll see what's available in free agency. Mika Koivu. Ooh, Darnell Nurse. I don't know how old he is, but I know he has decent potential. He's probably about 22. So, now, first thing is a goalie. Second priority is top 2 defensemen. Ooh, Evander Kane. So goalies, Halak, Bishop, Grice. Bishop still got the 5.5. We're going to sign Bishop here to a 2-year deal. I hate to give him this much money, but 2 years, $6 million. The reason I'm doing 2 years is in case Tremblay is just not quite ready. I'm hoping that Bishop goes back up to 88 overall. And the reason he's down to 85 is because he wasn't signed last year. So that's a lot of money to dish towards him, but we have to. Now, let's talk about defensemen. Green, I don't want. Nurse is 23, but only 4-star potential. I didn't plan on ending the video here because I didn't think I'd have to ask you guys. I'd rather have Nurse than BOYCHUK, but he wants 5.4. Here we go. We're gonna sign this guy. I'm not a guy who's gonna sign every prospect. We'll sign him and that's it. We'll leave these guys for other teams. Forwards. Ooh, Cairo. That could be hard to pass up. But like I said, I don't want to cheat the system too much here. We'll get Sokolov, who's less overall and a year older. We'll leave the biggest prospect, Cairo, for someone else. I think I might need a number 12 forward or number 13 forward. Let's check this out real quick. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I would like a number 13 forward. On a two-way deal. Sevier, one way. Parento, but I don't want to sign that old gizzard. There's really no one available. We can get that some other time. So I am going to end it here. To ask you guys, what do we do with BOYCHUK? Do we just go into next season? Do we trade him for next to nothing? Do we buy him out? I'm going to look through every team, see if it makes sense for them to trade a top 2 defenseman, and I'll be back. So I didn't see a team that had a top 2 defenseman that I could realistically see in trading. But the thing I think we could do is maybe trade for a prospect who will be a top 2 defenseman. Not necessarily Max LaJoie, but someone of this nature where this team, they already have, I guess he's like the best top 2, but they have a good top 4 defenseman. I've seen that on other teams. So maybe we could do that, trade for a really good prospect defenseman instead of a top 2 defenseman. But let me know what you guys think about free agency, anyone I should sign, what should I do with BOYCHUK, and all that good stuff. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode.